Hello, welcome. So in this video, I'm going to be making this texture inside of Substance Painter. Well, you already know that. Why am I explaining this to you? Alright, without wasting any more time, let's start painting texture inside of Substance Painter. But before that, this is part 2. And if you have no idea what is going on here, please watch part 1 from here and then watch this video. It will make more sense. Anyway, without further ado, let's start. Alright, as I remember, I made this kind of detachable sleeve inside of Marvelous Designer in the first video, in the first part. So yeah, this is the, you can ignore this part. If you have watched the first part, you know what's going on here. So very first thing we have to do, we have to export that. But before exporting, we need to see the UV of this model. So go to Windows and UV editor. So this is basically the first UV island or tile. I'm not sure what it's called. But anyway, I'm going to select everything, select here and select the 0 to 1 tile or island and apply. So I have this kind of automated UV layout. There is UDIMs, which is more than one UV layout, one UV tiles, but I'm not gonna do that because this is a very simple model. So yeah, just one UV is fine. You just need to make sure that nothing is going off of these 4 lines. So select everything, go File, Export, OBJ selected, and choose your desirable location and then give it a name. I'm gonna give it sleeve mesh, and then I'm gonna save it. And here you have to see a couple of things. First thing first, it's select all pattern. Yes, this is all the patterns that I have. Make sure there is nothing selected. Select all avatar or select all graphics or trim in this project. I'm gonna go with thin and weld. Then you need to check unified UV coordinates, PNG. You just don't need to select any maps, just this thing. And make sure the scale is centimeter. This is very important. And other than that, you can keep it as is and then okay. All right, in this blank Substance Designer project, you can drag your mesh and click here and it will give you this pop-up. And first thing first, document resolution, you can give it 1K, 2K, 4K, it doesn't matter that much. It is the quality of the viewport texture. So 2K is fine for me. Normal map format, I like to give it DirectX. You can also work with OpenGL. And make sure everything is default. I'm gonna uncheck the auto unwrap because I already have UVs. And I don't want to use UV tile workflow, that is basically the UDIM workflow. So yeah, everything is fine. I'm gonna just hit OK. By the way, this is by no means a optimized asset. This is just my demonstration. If you want this for like games or maybe other low poly type asset, this is not the asset you want. You need to retopper first, but for me, it's just for visual and I don't care about that. So yeah, I just only care about texture. All right, before starting this texturing process, you need some maps or textures basically. So I have some texture maps in .tgf format. If you want, you can download this from the description. This is absolutely gonna be free. Also, there will be this model, which is gonna be absolutely for free. So if you don't want to watch part 1 or don't feel like modeling in, it's okay. You can just download that project file from Gumroad and drop it here. That's easy. All right, so you have the file, that's great. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just delete this basic default layer. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to this texture set setting. If you don't have it, go to Windows, Views, texture set settings. So I'm gonna go here and go down and here bake mesh map. You can also find it here, mode bake mesh maps, whatever you prefer. So at first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to deactivate this ID map and ambient occlusion map. I don't need basically those maps. Now, the output setting of this should be, no, I will make it 4K. You can go higher, you can go lower. By the way, if you only press common setting, just remember, if you accidentally click on normal, you won't find it. You won't find it anywhere. So make sure you're in common setting. Great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down anti-aliasing. I really have hard time pronouncing this word. So I'm going from none to super sampling 16. You can go 64, but that's overkill, I think. And then bake select texture and wait for a bit. So yeah, before texturing, we need to bake. All right, now when you download the file from the Gumroad, you can find fiber normal inside of map folder. So what you want to do is just drag it and drop it here in asset. If you don't have it, go to go to Windows, View, Asset. Just drag and drop here. Make sure this is a texture, and I'm gonna import in this untitled because I haven't saved it, so it's currently untitled. So I'm gonna import it, and I have the fiber normal, which is very important. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and make a fill layer. Fill layer, basically a fill layer which you can change color or whatever you want to do. Now from it we have 5 different maps: color, metallic, roughness, normal, and height. I want one more map, which is opacity, because as you can see here, this is currently transparent, so I need opacity, and by default Substance Painter doesn't enable the opacity. What you want to do is you go to this shader setting, select here metal roughness, and you have to choose this PBR metal rough with alpha blending. When you click it, nothing happens, of course. You have to go to the texture setting and channel, and beside the channel you can find it, this plus icon. Click it and apply or enable opacity, and you can find it opacity. For this layer, I'm gonna name it base. This is very important. I really recommend you to name your layer, otherwise it is very confusing for me. So yeah, so I don't want color map. This is only the base, which I want the normal map. And which normal map, you may ask? Well, this fiber normal. I'm gonna just drag and drop here. So I have this fiber normal, but this looks the normal map, this is very big. I want this smaller. So I'm gonna go to tiling with this layer and maybe crank this up to 20 and see. 20 looks a bit down. I mean, not down, but smaller. I'm gonna go 15. Let's see. Well, not 15, maybe 12. Yeah, there is no magic number in this layer bit software, so you have to find your perfect number. For this, maybe I want to go down a little bit, maybe 10. Yeah, now this looks kind of like fibers. Yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to also click the roughness map to bring the roughness map. Right now, as you can see, it looks pretty shiny, which I don't want. So I'm going to go and just to make it a bit rough, maybe 0.55. Why not? There's no color, that's why this looks like this, but don't worry, I will add color. All right, now I'm going to go is I'm going to go ahead and make another map, which is, by the way, not necessary. You can also click here to add color, but I like to separate them. So I'm going to go just click here and I'm going to name it base color. By the way, you can just select that and enable this color and you can add color. That's completely fine, but I want to keep it separate in separate layer. And only in this layer, I'm gonna enable only color. So this color I want to basically put, which is 47362B, which is kind of dark brownish color. I love this. As I apply a color, I really see that this is this is still shiny. I don't want this. So I'm gonna go to the base layer and just crank this up. Just know it, the higher the value from 0 to 1, it is rough, and lower value, it's shiny. Completely 1, it's totally rough. I don't want it. Fabric has a little bit of shines, but that depends on the fabric as well. Anyway, so I'm gonna click both and hit Ctrl G to make a group, and I'm gonna name it base. I really like to group things and organize layer. I am really stupid and I keep forgetting which layer which, so that's why I named them. All right, now I'm gonna go and add an opacity map. Again, I'm gonna add a new layer. I'm gonna call it opacity. There you go. And I'm gonna disable color and only enable opacity. From 0 to 1, 1 is completely opaque and 0 is completely transparent. You can go in between which you like, but if you use an opacity map, it will be really better. So in the project file, you can find an opacity map. We have to just drag and drop it here and make sure this is an alpha. And I'm gonna save it on my project 1. 01 is my name of the project. Yeah, don't judge me. I just name my project 01, 02, 03. Yeah, that's so childish, but anyway. And I'm gonna hit import. So this is my opacity map, like this. And I'm gonna just drag it and drop it here. Pretty simple, huh? Again, the tiling of this is really big. I want it to make it small, maybe 20. Let's see. Okay, 20 looks good. Also, you can go here in the render mode, which is render engine, and see how it looks. It's better to select this display setting and clear color so you can see better. Okay, I want this. This looks good. So I keep it 20, but always experiment, please. All right now, this opacity applies to every inch of my model. I don't want it. I want this and this part to be affected with opacity, which will be transparent, and this part, and there's a tiny little detail part which will be completely opaque. So now I will introduce to mask. Mask will, well, let me show you. I'm gonna click that, add mask, and I'm gonna add a black mask. All right, black means this layer, actually this opacity, will not affect to anyone. By the way, I want to affect this and this. So I'm gonna go here on this polygon fill. I'm gonna create this UV chunk fill. Make sure this is 1, and I'm gonna just single click here. Do not click anywhere else. And if you go to here in paint mode, you can see only this part is, well, transparent. If I go to there, you can see that. That's pretty amazing. All right, this looks pretty boring and basic. Doesn't have any good detail and stuff. Let's add some alphas. Well, in the description, you can find the project file. There is alpha 1 and alpha 2. Just select that and drag and drop here. Select both and make sure this is alpha. And project 1, I'm going to import. So these are the alphas which I downloaded from Google and modified this in Substance Designer. By the way, don't use it for commercial or something. I'm not sure. I'm sure, don't do it, but I'm not sure if I will get copyrighted. If I will, I might cut the portion of this video maybe, or remake it. Now, which I want is, I'm gonna make another map for it. I'm gonna name it design 1 probably, and only color map, metallic map, roughness map, and let's go height map. Why I use height? Because I am using an alpha map and I want a little bit of depth from my base texture. This should be a little bit more blackish brownish, maybe like that. By the way, guys, you can use any color you like. That's I'm trying to make it kind of like gothic vibe. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Just go and pick any color you want. Metallic tab, I want a little bit of metalness there, and the roughness, well, very little. And the height, I'm gonna first make it like 0.08 or something. And then what I want to do is, it's very simple. Just drag it from here, the alpha, I'm gonna use alpha 2, and just drag it here. As you can see, not here, but here. Just click it. And you'll have this. Pretty amazing. Not now, but it's super big now. So I'm gonna make it maybe, let's see, 10. Let's go 15. Well, I'm gonna go Maybe 17. All right, 17 looks good. The height map looks very bad, so I'm gonna just click here on the, this is mask, this is layer or material. I'm gonna click here to find this height, and I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna maybe 0.025. Let's see the distance. I don't want too much like height or something, but yeah, crank this to 4K so I have better quality viewport. If you go like 1K, this will be so blurry. I recommend you to go 4K. If your PC doesn't handle, just go in 2K. It's absolutely fine. So yeah, something like that looks pretty nice. Now I find another thing, which is the base. I'm gonna select this base. You remember this normal? I'm gonna go with 13 because this is too big for me. So as you can see, this design, I only want it here, not all of this there. It looks pretty bad. And I'm sure you know what to do to add a mask, but you just cannot add a black mask here. It just all this detail will be disappeared, so don't do it. Instead, select that, hit Ctrl G, and to make a folder, just name it maybe design one, why not, and add mask here. Now what I'm gonna go is I'm gonna go to polygon fill again, UV chunk, make sure it's 1, just single click, no just drag or anything. So I only have this design on this part which I want. Let's see, the color combination looks okay, but I want my base color to go a little bit darker. Again, I'm saying you can use any color you want, that's absolutely fine. And I'm gonna actually make this design 1, the metallic. I want a little bit, I don't want metal map, so I just disable this, and I want this roughness to go a little bit more, maybe 0.7 or 0.75. Yeah, I want this. Something like that looks cool. I still select this mask and then alpha 2 and go from 17 to 18. Again, there is no magical number. You just have to tweak to your liking. I like this. All right, now I want to fill this little thing, this thing, and there is another, this thing, with this color, the new color of this design. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new, well, layer. I'm gonna name it, I don't know what to name, detail color. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm gonna use this exact color code. So once you can just copy it here from here and paste it here. Great. Now only height map. Now I also want to match the roughness. So this is basically 0.75. I want to give it the roughness click and then 0.75. Perfect, nothing else needed. I'm gonna go to mask, black mask, and I'm gonna select that. Everything is also set, already set. Just single click here, and single click on this line. Make sure, don't click anywhere else or don't drag. It's very sensitive to like, if you just want to drag here, you know you are dragging here, but at the back is just clicking or selecting everything. It's not your fault, it's Substance. No, it's no one's fault. So yeah, this is coming nice. Here I want this alpha 2 at the same way I did here in the design 1. So this is very simple. Just go and click a fill layer, and you know what, I'm gonna just delete that. I'm gonna Control C this layer and Control V here, rename it design 2, right click on the mask and remove mask because I don't want it. And instead I'm gonna go click here, drag here and just drop it here. It's pretty simple. Yeah, pretty simple. And in the tiling I'm gonna go 15. Just see here because I only want patterns here. 7, 5, 4. By the way guys, you can also give, it's completely up to you. I'm just explaining you the process. The rest, the creativity, it's all yours. Just go and do whatever you want. with this information. Maybe it's useful, maybe it's not, I'm not sure. I'm gonna go 0.03 the height, and alpha 1 I maybe want 3. So yeah, I'm only seeing this part because I want this part. You can also drag to, well, drag to move the patterns. Again, Control G to make a folder, name it same, design 2, and add a mask again. Select that and only click here. I already set it up the not I already did set it up. The Marvelous Designer already set it up the UV for you, so it's really simple. When you click here, it's only clicking this island. When you click there, only selecting this. That's why I made this model like this, so it will be easier in Substance Painter. So everything is just separated, and it should be like this. So yeah, guys, I think that is done. And I'm not sure. I don't like the base color. Base normal. I'm gonna go maybe 10. Well, no, 12. So yeah, I want it to be a bit darker, maybe a little bit like this. You can also add more things to it, like more pattern, more details, anything you want. But I think that's it for this video. No, that's not it for this video. You can I will show you the bonus step. I maybe want this to go 0.7, you know. I don't want any, what can I say, any shine to mine. So let's render it here. Yes, I think I really love this. This is fine. So this is the bonus tip. Not tip, but all right. So if we want to render it in Blender or Maya or anywhere, or if you don't want to use alpha map, you can use, you can follow this tiny portion of this tutorial. What I mean by is, like, if you go and export this, you will not see these details. Like, let me show you this height detail onto normal map, because it will be overwritten, because it will be on the height map, and most of the time you don't want to use height map for clothing. You can use this, but yeah, if you don't want to use height map, only normal map, this is only for you. Otherwise, skip it to the outro. If you want this, you have to select this, not mask, this. Go here, add a filter. The filter, select here, the filter, and this should be height to normal, this. You can add this, and also in the design tool, select that, select there, add filter, height to normal. Now if we export this, all this alpha detailing will be baked, or I'm not sure what, onto this normal map. So yeah, you can go file and then export textures. You can select any folder, make sure it's, I want to go with like document channel normal plus AO with alpha. Select this material, deselect normal, height, and AO. I want base color, metallic, roughness. There is no metallic, so we just can ignore this. So base color, roughness, opacity, and normal, DirectX, because as you remember, in the first time when I imported this mesh, I selected DirectX. So yeah, if you go here and you can go select maybe the PNG format. There is a lot of format you can use, but yeah, PNG and maybe 4K. You can go up to 8K and export. So guys, as you can see, the normal map, it has all the alpha map baked into this normal map. If you don't use this filter, you will not see any of this detail, you will only see this fiber details. That's it. You cannot see this kind of detail. So yeah, that's the optional part. If you want to export and use, you can use it. All right, so this is it for this tutorial of Substance Painter. Let me know if you want more Substance Painter tutorial. I'm not sure if you want it. really. Just comment down if you want it. By the way, if you're new to this channel, just remember I make Clo 3D and Marvelous Designer content most of the time, and that is my favorite thing to do. Texturing part, I will probably make more, from Substance Designer to Substance Painter to Clo 3D to everywhere. Not everywhere, but yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you get something from it. If you did, comment down, and if I did some mistake, maybe I did, you can comment down that and notify me, or you can comment what you like on this video, and also you can comment if you want this type of Substance Painter texturing tutorial. So yeah, see you in the next video. Goodbye.